Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Devanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. It's Sunday, it's space couch time, even though time and space are kind of the same thing when you get this far out into the cosmos, but that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Space couch, space almost did it. Almost got through the intro without slipping up. That's okay because our sponsor this week is so amazing. It is Tiger Squawk Records sponsoring this episode. Check them out. Tigersquawk.bandcamp.com. Fazaz City from Science Fiction, real good. The Lost soundtracks from Grasp Logic, very atmospheric, very cool. Isserly's new tape wormhole, it'll blow your mind apart. Preamplifier from Cedar Hill Furniture. You need more furniture-based techno music. 808. Wait, 808 from Grasp Logic. Volt 9000 with Viral Out. It might be my favorite Volt 9000, and not just because I'm on it. Club Ovator comes back with Impostorable. And Cyrene has a sort of a chronological best of Batavia. That is choice. And we are putting together a festival. Yes, it's the first Tiger Squawk Records online festival. More on that later. You'll get sick of me talking about it, I'm sure. So, we have Grasp Logic and Dan in the chat room. Uh, this is gonna be a good one. Band I've seen a couple times. Really like their music. From like I'm in space, but we have like a terrestrial base in Boston, and these guys are from there. And so I'm open for also guest of the show, MC Lars, and they just killed. So let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TriHeart. What's up?
Woo!
Yeah.
Gossicle! Yo,
I,
yo, yo!
TriHeart in the place. Thanks so much for combining to form a wonderful musical Voltron here in the depths of the cosmos. Um, let's get right into it. So I'm sure you've had to answer this question once or twice, but I need to know with what we call the superhero origin story here on Space Couch. How does this confluence of chip, rap, and violin all sort of merge to form Devastator?
Well,
We'll let Bit answer that.
I'm glad you asked. I've been taking a class at Berkeley, and we've been trying to put together our press kit. So
Oh, nice.
I'm very established in this question now.
Okay.
So, TriHeart is a friendship forged in chiptune.
Word.
We are 3 solo chiptune artists: Diamond Machine, who's Danny; Biffle Cup, who is myself; and Astrologic, who is Chris. And we all came together through friendship and
Tacos.
mainly, and egg, actually. But
Eggs.
that's another story. But so it was PAX East 2016.
Nice.
Me and Danny were living together at the time, and Chris would come hang out with us. And we were just like, oh, let's all do a set at PAX East. We'll combine our powers, like Captain Planet.
Nice.
And so we did, and Danny was like, I play violin, and Danny was like, let's do a violin chiptune set. And I was
Nice.
like, all right. And then he was like, we should bring Chris in, and he should rap. And I was like, oh my gosh, all right, let's do it. And now we all work at the same movie theater. And
As fate would have it.
as fate would have
Nice.
it, and that's helping us before COVID. It was helping us
Right.
fund like everything that we've been doing and touring and doing conventions, and that's it. That's the press kit I've been working on. for a
Very
while.
well. You got that down. I want to back up a step because I'm already impressed. I spent most of my life in Chicago and like knew about the PAX stuff, and now that I live in Boston, I hit my first one like 2 years ago, and just walking down into that initial like convention hall, just like Jesus Christ, it's like it's what I imagine meth to be like, but it's just this constant flow. Like, so when you say you played PAX East, were you like on the convention floor or like at one of these tertiary like these party sort of things?
Yeah. So once a long time ago, when this kind of got started over in like the Boston area, the PAX, they like signed this contract to be like, all right, we're gonna be here for like the next 100 years or whatever. And they were like, okay. So a few of my friends at Boston 8-Bit kind of like put in the word to these guys and
Okay.
was like, hey, we can play chiptune music here. So they stuck us in a room. And then from there, it kind of just grew into MagFest joining in and providing different like logistics and like
Right.
equipment and stuff. And then we got a little stage.
Awesome.
It never was on the floor or anything. I just feel like there's too much chaos for anyone to want to pay attention to any
Yes, for
act
you,
at all.
for you, the
So
listener, it's a video game convention, and it is full bore, like all the time.
yeah, it's basically like the Comic-Con of video games
It's
in a way. It's
really
just
great.
people walking around in cosplay, just like really elaborate ones on top of that. And then every single video game that's coming out can be demoed, and
And
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
the
Nintendo's
indie section is just mm. The but that's that. I was just curious because we got to get onto this. The self-titled EP is out. TriHeart, available at triheart.bandcamp.com. Give me the 411 on this. And is there any fans of the show wait for this word? Is there any unifying gestalt or sort of overarching feeling for the EP? Might these be collections of tracks? How do you feel about this release?
Yeah.
Well, for me, a lot of the stuff that we had done over the years kind of like came together with this. So there's a lot of tracks that I had written in the past with like the intentions of people writing over them, or just having spent time with Biff, living with him, we would write songs together. So, Chris was always around all the time too, because we've just been friends. So, he's either helped work on those songs with us, or, just whether it's just like adding a few things here and there. But, just always playing PAX every year because of like the acts that we all did. We kind of realized that we were essentially taking up 3 spots that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Essentially could have gone to other people. So we were like, maybe we should just see if we can combine all of our acts
Nice.
together. Like initially,
Very egalitarian.
me and Chris usually would do like a back and forth kind of thing on Game Boys. So like kind of like a DJ battle, but with LSDJ. We would kind of do that already. And then I already had some songs that I did with Biff. So it was like kind of made sense to just like find ways to just keep slamming everything together.
Yeah.
And Chris had always been doing like hip hop and rap for a long time with a group called Dead Boys. So, it was just taking a lot of the stuff that he was already doing, and he already knows like how to work LSDJ and stuff. So it was just like a combination of all of our efforts and making sense of it. It didn't quite just click. You can actually watch our first PAX performance, and you can see some pretty rough comments under there.
Well,
So if you feel like adding some horrible comments to that, we would appreciate it. But yeah, it's been years now, and we've finally figured it out. So it's each song has like a different feel to it, I'd say, on the EP. But I think that's because of all the different styles in things that we're capable of doing or what we like to do. So you kind of just like feel something with different tracks. We always have people tell us that one track they like more than the other, and it's always kind of surprising because
well, yeah, it's always
they're just very, they're very all over the place. So it's always kind of cool to
Lot of
see where
range.
somebody lands.
Yeah, and it's kind of written in like a video game aesthetic. Like the first song is Running Out of Time,
Right.
which is time. The second song is Sorry, which is about love, and then we have Slushy Slopes, which is like ice. Red Hot is about fire, and
Nice.
Zeus is about electricity. So it's like
Oh,
and
you are forming Captain Planet. You have all the
Yes.
elements, and then
Yeah.
it's
little secret Captain
little Captain Planet.
then you
you
all
can
get hard.
Yeah, you can see references it to in our album art too. You'll notice like my Game Boy has some electricity coming out of it. and
Right.
Okay.
Chris's, microphone is doing. I think his finger's pointing and is like electricity kind
Okay.
of like
And there's a clock.
clock,
for
yeah, the
running
time,
out.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dips.
Wow, wheels within wheels, within
And
globes and planets, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
thought, like-
we are all about planets out here in space. Night Terror on Twitch says, "TRIHEART, y'all are crazy cool. Love the sounds."
Oh, thanks, Night Terror.
Let's go. We'll check out a clip. This is running out of time.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
if my
you.
magical space Bluetooth keyboard wants to work.
On your mark, ready, set, take a breath, place your bets, pace yourself, brace yourself before you happen to erase yourself. Trace my steps, drive for greatness, final stretch, fingers clench, clock is ticking, blocks are spinning, we dash across the tops of buildings. On the ceiling, take me higher, every turn is getting wider. Brighter lights inside my eyes and I go blinded when they shine. Road is winding and it's entwined with thoughts inside my mind, but I'm still excited. Sparks ignited, passion, pride, and egos fighting. Make it to the finish line, just in time to stay alive. With me, silence always sing, alarms are ringing, seconds stinging. If you knew what I was thinking, you would die from overheating. If you knew what I was feeling, you would cry from never healing. It's like the clock is never on my side, looking for something I can never find. It's like the clock is never on my side, and I'm gonna lose my mind. I've been running like I'm running out of time. I've been running like I'm running out of time. I'm looking.
Do a little manual edit there because I forgot to set the shortcut, but that's okay. You got to do a systems check out here in space so you don't hurtle into the sun. You know how it is. We just live on a knife's edge of like imminent death at all points in time on a couch floating in space. But one thing we are not running out of is time because that song was so strong. So
Thank you, man. Shout out to Brick Breaker, by the way.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that I worked with on that song a long time ago, and he kind of helped me refine it a little bit. He's like the secret fourth member of our band.
in terms
He's very young.
Okay, shout out to Brick.
Yeah,
Break.
just like in terms of like writing a lot of like
Okay.
the beats and stuff. You know?
Well, let's get into that because I've done like the theme song of this show was on a Commodore VIC 20, and I've done a little bit of like Goat Tracker, and it's all hexadecimal.
Yep.
Well, thank you, but it's a giant pain in the ass. Like it's really hard.
Yeah, that's how Fruit Loops LSDJ runs as well as hexadecimal.
You're setting me up for my next question perfectly. Like, how is that? Does it take just the patience of 18 Saints? How do you? Because it's amazing. Like I'm listening to this lush, like organic, like wonderfully mixed stuff, and it's I'm blown away, to be honest. I don't mean to gush, but it's knowing that you programmed each of those little notes by switching A to B, and all these little things. Like, tell me about the programming of this.
So basically, with the program, you're kind of obvious. I'm sure you know with like Go Tracker and stuff, you're only limited to so many tracks you can play or sounds you can play at a time. So you've got 2 pulses, a wave channel, and a noise channel. So you're kind of like, setting up instruments to kind of switch between all that stuff. Now, like movement around with the Game Boy starts to feel natural after a while because it's a lot of the button presses that you're kind of used to, like. To cut and copy a thing, it would just be like hold B and push A, and we all know that that's run and jump in Mario. So like those you know what I mean. Those actions feel kind of natural to you after a while. You're like, oh, this makes sense. So you're navigating screens and doing a lot of that, but at the end of the day, the guy who makes the program updates it a lot.
Okay.
So it gets a lot of love and. He's just kind of been adding more features and different like things, so it keeps it fresh and just keeps you kind of into it. But I've been looking to get in a few other trackers lately.
This is physically on a Game Boy.
Yes,
that
so
is
basically
gnarly.
Because the games themselves couldn't have the the songs on them.
Right.
So you had to kind of like play or piano it through there. So you're basically just dedicating all of the hardware to
Okay.
making that track on
Okay.
there. So there's been times if you push it too far, it'll freeze up the whole system.
Right. Not just start
Many times.
Yes.
melting into plastic.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So
Nice.
some people actually even overclock them and do all kind of different mods to kind of make them a little bit more capable for what they're trying to do.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a really interesting program. If you check it out, all you have to do is make a small donation to get the tracker, and there's a demo of it. So
Man.
between that, there's Nano Loop that does a lot of the same things.
Good stuff.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool trackers out there. If you ever get interested, just message our band. We can
Sounds
send you
good,
some
man.
links.
Yeah, I've been using yeah, the Commodore one is just what I learned on. So
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
how was that for you?
it's pretty cool. Like, and I hope this isn't too much inside baseball for the listener, but you open up these things and it's just rows of zeros, and you go, I don't know. Hi, I'm scared now. I'm gonna just play Darkest Dungeon and go to sleep. Like, but
Go.
like, if you're used to like Cubase or something, all that wonderful color coding is out the window, and or if you were classically trained, like you know how to hold a note or play the violin, it's not that. It's another one.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty great. Grasp Logic says Nano Loop is a great app and easy to access. We'll check it out. One
Absolutely.
thing I've been happy to check out, and you guys were kind of there for the intro to that, was the Gotsicles intro into this wonderful Boston 8-bit world.
Yes,
Um,
Gossicles.
Dude, 6th set, by the way.
Hell
oh,
yeah.
thank you. Like, I'd been told, like, cause I'm in like Dorchester, so like pretty far south, and like I told people we were playing the Jungle, and like the response that I got was like, "Oh, okay, it's small, but it's cool." And I'm wondering if this is gonna be like some dude's house or what. And it's amazing. And I'm like, how is this
Jungle's the
small?
best.
This is incredible. The
Yes.
bathroom's
Shout out to the
clean.
Jungle.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
right. The soap dispenser thing works, and it sounded
Yeah.
amazing. Like so I know you guys are very familiar with the Jungle and that scene. Give us sort of the 411 on the demo scene, nerd scene, chip, whatever the thing is for
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah. Well, just a quick side note: the video clip you have,
Yeah.
for us, that was filmed at the Jungle, so people
Right.
will be able to see. Yeah. So okay, so I can just tell it through my experience. So when I was meeting Danny and Chris, there was this scene called Boston 8-Bit. It was run by James Primate, Chris Mahoney, Lydia Primate. I don't know her last name.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
That's her. And yeah, I think that's it. And so they were great, and they were able to kind of build this scene with lots of local chiptune artists. And then Chris Mahoney moved to Texas, and James and Lydia moved to LA. I think
so.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Oh, or is it Japan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I get them
anyway, there's
confused
somewhere.
myself. LA
Yeah.
and Japan.
So and then they kind of handed the reins down to someone named Jay. His artist name is MC Facepalm. And he was able to do PAX East sets, and he was able to do some stuff at MagFest, which I know we're going to talk about later. So he was really doing the ropes on that. And then last year, so there hadn't been like live shows outside of the convention.
Mm-hmm.
So last year it was Danny's birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And me and Chris were like, what are we going to get Danny for his birthday? And we said, let's bring back live shows for Boston 8-Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that
we
new?
all, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we all had a passion and yearning because it was such like a cool chip scene back in the day.
Okay.
And Danny always was like, we should do something like people did for us and have open mics so that new cats can show up and young kids can like,
Mm-hmm.
experience like the love that we always experience in the Boston chip scene.
Yeah.
Right. So like the goal has always been now when we try to do these monthly shows, unfortunately, which have, taken on to the live stream area,
right.
which is, just as fine. You get to hang with cool people all around the world.
Mhm.
But when we had these shows, the nice thing about it is we had the open mic so people could play, but we also tried to shoot to always make the shows free.
Right.
Because we wanted the people to spend whatever money they had, not only on, food and drinks, which, they had a lot of vegan options. So that was always nice.
Right.
But, spend money on merch, like on the
Right.
artists, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Directly give them their money, because
Which,
what you see there is, you want to support. And I think that's like ends up being the most direct way. And sometimes people just don't have money. They just,
right.
college life, you're eating ramen, whatever the
Right.
case is,
Yeah.
Right.
you shouldn't be excluded because, you don't have money.
And I think the
Yeah.
Jungle had the donate to the artist option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can on your bill, you can always donate
Yeah.
to the artist
Which is
too, which is beautiful.
cool.
It's like so cool, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
at the end
it
of the
was-
day, we get a lot of people to come, and a lot of people buy French fries, so it
Yeah.
works out for everybody.
And so yeah, Biff and Sam Mulligan.
Oh,
Shout out
right.
to
Sam Mulligan. Right.
Shan Mulligan.
Yes.
Great chip artist, influenced us and our
Oh, right.
style. Absolutely,
Okay.
OG, ROG.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Biff and Sam just kind of took the reins on Boston 8-Bit and kind of like did a year of free shows every
A
month.
year of free shows.
Awesome.
And a lot of
Thank you.
wonderful artists got to play. Gothsicle.
Gothsicles. That was such a good
Uh,
show.
Who else played?
We had Gothsicles. We had
Lame Genie.
Lame Genie.
TTB.
TTB.
Yes.
Yes,
Um,
they're wonderful.
Animal
Storm Blooper.
Style.
Storm Blooper.
Animal Style.
Break Stuff, Steal Things.
Yeah, just tons of artists that we've been
yeah.
able to have come play. But yeah, we do them online now, and we try to like gear each one towards a different charity or like
Yeah.
public awareness kind of thing, whether it be locally or nationally. Everything's kind of like hectic day to day in real life, so we try to like push towards things that need to get immediate attention. So the last ones we've done were for like victims of police brutality
Wow.
or LGBTQ
Yeah, we did
people
Bagley,
and Bagley and stuff. So yeah, we're which we've kind of found like when we want to do live shows again, we're gonna try to incorporate into
cool.
Yeah.
our thing. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but yeah, we're really trying to push that whole scene and at least
Totally.
a little bit of a better light for
Yeah.
for the city of Austin, since it can be a little rough around here.
Yeah.
Before I forget, where do we see these live shows? Do I got a URL you can toss out?
Yeah, right now it's being hosted on a local nerd radio, which is Geek U Radio. So the monthly shows are streamed on twitch.tv/geek
Awesome.
radio, who's like our sister organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
shout out
wow.
to Geek Beat Radio.
Yeah.
They're always incorporated in all those Boston 8-Bit and TriHeart events.
Yeah.
They got their 10th anniversary coming up, so it's
Yeah.
like
Kick ass.
quite some
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, all the episodes are up on there. It's like we've been doing it every week for that many years, so
Yeah.
never really missed one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say you could find all kind of cool artists through that as well.
Yeah.
There's always music
Okay.
and stuff.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going there. It was like in industrial world in Boston so far that I've experienced, you either play Brighton City Music Hall or you drive to Providence.
Right.
Like that.
Right,
those are like the goth industrial venues, and then so because the gospel sort of like sideways goes into nerd scene, and then so discovering the jungle was like. It was like landing in a country you never heard of. And I'm like, this is amazing. Was this here the whole time? I mean, it was because I experienced everything you're talking about. There was like an all ages night the night before, or excuse me, like a couple minutes before, really.
Yeah.
And then it flips over into a not all ages venue because they serve alcohol if you're into that. Very diverse crowd. I was
Yes.
blown away. People didn't know us, but like we still picked up merch. I was
Yeah.
this is like thank you. And if you remember at that particular night, it was this horrid storm. It was just coming down.
Yeah, that's right.
And a bunch of people still showed up. I was like,
Yeah.
you guys are
Yes.
warriors. So shout out to Boston 8-Bit. Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. And then Assemblage 23 showed up, who was a band I've sort of worshipped since like undergrad. I'm like, what is happening right now? I don't know where I am.
And I
So-
think the last show before everything closed was our album.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was our
Album release.
We
Yeah.
were a little
nice.
selfish with Boston 8-bit and made it for our album release, the
Weirdly
December
apropos.
February show.
Well, that was
Yeah.
the one show, yeah.
Yeah.
We had played as TRIHEART.
Yeah, we had Bit Shifter there play, and our friend Brick Breaker. So he got to perform with us on stage, which was lovely.
Yeah, and it was my birthday, so we kind of like
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
bundled everything. into
Yeah.
one.
yeah. He's born on a leap year, so
it was my true leap year birthday.
It was his like real actual birthday, so he's like I think 8. You know
yeah,
now?
yeah, I remember you mentioned that at the MC Lars show. You're, like,
Yeah,
you're
I'm 8.
technically 8. All right, well, I apologize in advance if any caca talk comes out of my mouth accidentally. Well, speaking of shows moved into this bizarre coronavirus online sphere, you recently participated in what's called a digital open mic for IO Chip Music NYC, which sounds awesome.
Ohio Chip music.
Yeah.
Like, let's wake up the old Magic controller and take a little bit of a look at that.
Look. Ice cold like an icicle. I know. Yeah, I know. Your heart froze like a popsicle. It's like an obstacle. Every time I talk to you. Slip and slide in the snow blind. Slushy slope got you tripping. Slip and slide in the snow blind. Slushy slope got you tripping. Slip and slide in the snow blind. Slushy slope got you tripping. Slip and slide in the snow blind. Slushy slopes got you tripping. On a mission in the blizzard, got your earmuffs on. See, I don't even wanna listen. You can see the light listen in the distance. In an instant, no snowshoes on, so now you're slipping over there with a cold stare, looking like a polar bear. Nah, over here it's 30.
Somebody doing like construction in the background there?
Oh, is that might be our humidifier?
Oh, okay. That's all right. I mean, we'll just get hella industrial up in here. Sounded pretty awesome. Filmed the jungle that we talked about. So, was it just sort of this? Was the experience of like everybody sends in a video and we just all show it as like a collected presentation, or how did that work?
We send in a video, and then they paired us with visual artists.
Oh, awesome!
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had our good friend who lives here in Somerville, Dave Green, professional photographer. He shot us a video in the jungle, quarantine, completely, everyone was using all the sanitizer and stuff. And we shot a couple songs, and we submitted
Slushy Slope.
Slushy Slopes, and they paired us with a visual artist by the name of Gleix, Gleix.
Yeah, that's right.
And Gleix did quite a few
Artist stuff.
Yeah.
artist stuff, and Gleix is amazing. So we
Yeah.
were super fortunate just to have those folks over at IO put our stuff up, and Gleix did such a crazy job.
Yeah.
We hit him up. We hit them up, and we were like, "Do you mind if we, post this somewhere?" Because we were just floored by how cool it looked.
Yeah.
And that was such a cool experience to see people do. You always see live music, but then there was a couple artists. I think it was someone had green screen canvases in the back, and then the visual artist did all these rad
very cool.
FX over that. So check out the IO open mic
That's
live stream, because there was some
really cool.
crazy visual
Yeah.
stuff going on. And I honestly think all live performances should be like that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we try to have visual artists perform at our Boston 8-bit.
Right.
Yeah,
Visual
no,
artists don't get enough credit. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of great visuals.
No, that was sorry. I'm excited because I'm blanking on his name, but there was just a visual artist throwing down these really cool
Oh, Thresher,
PlayStation
most
1.
likely.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thresher.
Yeah.
Thresher's amazing.
Yeah, he's usually
He's our
he's a
resident
mainstay. Yeah.
visualist.
Okay.
for Boston 8-bit.
Very cool.
Rusher. Yeah, you could check his stuff out online too. And there's a couple other few cool visual artists in the scene. Kira City, Neon Death Cat.
Yeah.
Oh Hey Nafu. A lot of Ender John doing like super cool rad stuff. IAYD.
Yeah.
Doing some cool visual stuff too. So it kind of almost pairs with the chiptune aspect of it, because so I've heard of folks doing like 8-bit visuals through an NES, you know, so like that's in the total spirit of
I think TVT did that. Like when we
Yeah. Of course, they're some of our favorites.
Yeah. So we gotta design the TriHeart video game. Like, so I'm 8, like much like you, Danny or Chris. I meant to say, I'm 8 and I'm popping in. I blow on the cartridge and I pop in that TriHeart NES cartridge, or maybe not. Maybe it's Atari or PlayStation. Like, is it like you know how in like the Nintendo G.I. Joe game you could like switch between 3 guys like on the fly? Yeah, and they each have like their own powers.
I've kind of thought about this a little bit before. So most likely it would either be something like along the Torchlight aspect where it's like a 3-party, 30-person party, and everyone kind of has a different class and stuff, but it's like
very cool.
Game Boy microphone and violin, or you know what I mean, or it would be like either real-time time like stuff, or it would probably be like just like classic Final Fantasy RPG
very cool
type style, white mage, red mage type.
Type
stuff. You know what I mean.
It.
It's going to be somewhere in the mix of that, because there's a lot of storytelling going on in our songs. So, it's going to be.
I love the idea of a Final Fantasy TriHeart game. Like as your limit break is just like a column of hexadecimal code. Let's crush the guy.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
And then
between all of us, we have some weird...
Biff, like you summon some sort of Phantom of the Opera, stab you with a violin bow guy. Like that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And
what I was? Oh yeah.
What's up? Go ahead.
Oh, what I was thinking was the whole thing reminded me of like when I was growing up. Like in 2004, I think there was this game. It was a Flash game called Emo Band Game.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody remembers this, but like my favorite bands back then were like Blink-182, Don't Laugh But Simple Plan, Newfound Glory, and they were all like they were all in this game, and they made like characters from each band, and they did stupid
sorry,
events.
I just remembered it.
Do you remember this?
Yeah. No, it came back in a flash part in the pun.
Yes.
Like I totally remember that.
So I think people totally forgot about this game, and I want to like bank off that and make like a Boston 8-bit game.
Oh
so
my
like
god!
TriHeart, the Ghosticles, MC Facepalm, and like it's just I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of my bucket list things that I might never accomplish, but.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Like Sam would be like a super character with all the stats maxed out and everything. Like
Oh my god.
Very cool.
So if anyone's listening, I think you can still play it. It's emo game. I was like Googling it the other night because I was just.
Was it on Newgrounds?
Yeah, probably on Newgrounds.
It sounds it feels very Newgroundsy in the browser window of my mind. And like Chris, you could have like an Indiana Jones whip move with like the mic on.
Yes,
Get over here.
Yeah, there it is. We did it. Okay, so check for that game coming soon. Speaking of games, which is the worst segue ever, because I could prepend any of these questions with speaking of games, but you did MagFest. That is something I've always wanted to do. Describe MagFest for the uninitiated.
So basically, it is a 4-day event that runs 24 hours. There's bands pretty much in every room of this hotel that they've rented out at the Gaylord National in Maryland. And it's pretty much like they have a full room of arcade machines, a full room of console games that you can rent games for, from pretty much any system,
Nice.
new or old. And those are kind of running 24/7, and then like tabletop board games running.
Love it.
And then there's pretty much bands, different like lectures or like informative like discussions,
Mhm. Oh, cool.
panels, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
By big like people or whatever. But the
Basically nerd heaven.
yeah,
It sounds
Basically,
that way.
like,
I've heard these
40,000
stories.
People crammed into like this giant swaggy hotel in Washington D.C. that it's just like half of it's like glass, and then,
Yeah.
like, there's like a warehouse of free arcade games and a warehouse of free consoles, 24/7. So at 4 a.m. you could just go in that arcade and
play
your
Dance Dance.
Hell yeah.
Pretty
life.
amazing.
Hell
And
yeah.
then there's like a huge like cosplay scene.
Right.
Oh, the cosplay's
And
amazing.
it's like
Yeah.
a giant Ferris wheel on like the huge like harbor.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the main difference between PAX East and any of the PAXs really and MagFest is PAX East is like corporately driven. So if you can
Right.
like build a bigger display than everyone's because you have the money, then they're gonna let you do that. But at MagFest, everyone basically put on the same platform. So
Oh,
if you
awesome.
have
Okay.
if you have an indie game or whatever, like you're gonna get the same like booth size as like Skyrim or whatever
Yeah.
Okay.
ridiculous game is like out at that time.
Very cool.
So between that and like the aspect that they're
and it's,
like
more
running,
about the music.
it's
too.
like running as a charity. They keep the ticket prices lower.
Oh,
So at the end of the day, like the whole 4-day event is like less. It's like I think it's like about $80 at its worst. You know what I mean? To
That
go.
is a
So
Yeah.
steal, though.
yeah,
For
so
4
it's like-
days?
yeah, for 4 days.
That's like
yeah.
6 seconds of Gen Con. That's like amazing.
Yeah, right. And so like between that and just like the whole like aspect of trying to like keep it charitable and everything else, it makes for a really fun time because
Yeah.
everyone's
I
there
don't-
for the
I don't
right
think
reasons.
There's anywhere else you could see like David Weiss play a full orchestra set. Or, like,
Right.
something
Yeah,
That's
like
they
pretty
had
awesome.
the creator of the Streets of Rage soundtracks. They flew him out and he DJ'd the music.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the folks from Katamari played
yeah,
there.
the Katamari like rave DJ.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Fucking
Oh, man.
Hell
Yeah, there's like a few. of
seeing
them.
like our chiptune idols, Chipsel, NNNNN, fucking Maneo, just like destroying a main stage.
Yeah.
That's
in America,
crazy.
like we've pretty much lived our wildest concert
Yeah.
dreams. At
Like-
MagFest.
So playing it was just
and then playing it is just like the icing on the cake.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
okay.
It just makes And even more. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep
Hey, your
talking
show.
about Matt.
Go on.
But like even more like while all this other stuff is happening with the music and everything like that, like there's so many amazing other nerd things too. Like I guess it's gaming, but I went to a panel with the host of Nick Arcade from like 100 years ago.
Get out!
It was amazing, and it's just like
Phil Moore.
Phil Moore.
Yeah.
Thank you. So like you can just like walk away from David Weiss's set or
man.
DDR, and you can just go into this panel room and
With
Phil Moore is there, and like it's so much. It's so
Uh,
much.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It's the best convention I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we
it
are
has
blessed.
it
to
has
have
its
been
hiccups
to
like
one.
anything else.
Hell
But
yeah.
they,
Yeah.
you know,
I
it's
mean,
like-
any.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we did. I've had similar experiences. Like we played Game On Expo in Phoenix
Nice.
with Mega Ran. It was cool.
Nice.
And it's like, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun at this set, and it's great. But I also kind of want to play Sunset Riders. So like, yeah, we'll just do one more track, and like it's pretty awesome. It sounds great. What tips could you give us for either playing or attending for first timers?
Well, for attending, it's always good to attend the first time before you commit to really anything else.
Yeah.
Because you kind of want to. You're just gonna get lost within like
Yeah.
everything, and
Just
you kind of
freestyle it.
yeah, you kind of have to just be okay with being with your friends and then being like, we have to depart and go separate ways right now because we have different interests at the current time.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And just, but and just find your adventure because it's impossible to do everything.
Yeah.
Right, and
You
just,
know?
you're
You're
surrounded
not gonna
literally
do
by
anything.
blinking noise lights. Like, how are you not gonna?
Yeah,
Right.
right. If you're just like all of a sudden drawn to the giant Hercules pinball table and your friend is like, I have to go see Phil Moore, you just have to be like, we're here to
I'm doing
do
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just here to impulsively live.
We
you
lost
know?
our friend Herb to this Sega music game that you.
Yeah.
I forgot what. Remember?
Yeah, it was like like a Pong game, but there's like several lights on it, and there's
Yeah.
like one of 6 machines or something. So all these kids were like lost around it,
Yeah.
and he just ran into it, and we were like, where did our friend Herb go? And then all of a sudden, we just find him
You just
standing
see him.
over the lights. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, I mean, like it's like usually if the right people are there, then it's always been a great
Oh, that's
time.
amazing.
And there's
you
pretty
know?
much something for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
a little
like,
bit of everything.
There's
so.
a challenge thing that Danny liked to do too. Like
Yeah, they have old
Yeah.
school video game challenges where they just set up ROMs with like specific, like it beat the first level of Donkey Kong Country in under like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then they would give you rewards based on that. And
Oh
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
so,
get there.
Yes,
It's like,
when we got to like do the actual first, like we played last year. We got to be the opening
Mhm.
set
Yeah.
for the whole event. So
we threw the opening pitch.
yeah, exactly. Essentially. So it was like a real like just like mind blowing
And we
situation.
helped build the stage.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
So
Very,
very cool.
I'd say that's definitely a good
Full
tip is to
Minecraft.
make sure you set up the the equipment.
Set up the
Yeah.
stage and you can't lose.
Yeah, it's
I would just jump in and be like, it's so true. Like, and it's also like learning where you are for the first year, but also just like I'm never very happy just generally, but like when I'm at MagFest, like just there you'll find like pure joy and like
yeah.
so just experience that joy. And like one of my favorite things too that I do every year is I go into like this it's a museum. It's like a PC museum. So you go into this room and it's like
Old Apple IIs
Yeah.
and like
They had that last year?
Yeah.
they did.
Oh, I
They had
love
like
that
the
room.
Mac rainbows in every color.
It's like a PC,
Yeah.
museum of like all the first
Yes.
computers.
Oh.
And this year it was Sunday and people were unassembling the stage and we were volunteering. I didn't have to be there for then, so I was just waiting for everyone to finish these stages. And I played Warcraft 2, started a new game. I played for like 4 or 5 hours. I was like, it was just, and like,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, you're on vacation, you don't have to think about anything. It's like, this is, my thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Go ahead.
Like,
sorry.
I never go on vacation either, so, like, I'm just like, at MagFest, I'm like,
Going
this
all
is my
out.
time.
Yeah.
No, I feel you there. I really rarely just do a vacation and just
Right.
the warmth that spread over my person when you said Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
Oh, real-time strategy, Dapu, and all
I
that.
know.
I
know.
Good
Oh, God.
stuff.
On the
and
computer, too. Like,
yes,
It
Nick
is really
Arcade. I mean, I hadn't really realized how formative that was till I just realized that I now do a green screen based video game show. So,
A lot of influence.
Hey.
Heck yeah.
oh god, I wanted to be on that show when I was a young and like, you're watching the kids play like Galaga or whatever. Come on.
So one of the things, I guess, that the reason why the kids did so badly at the end
Oh,
in the
no.
green scene was
Yes.
because everything that they were seeing on the monitors, like in front of them,
Right.
was all mirrored.
Okay,
So
yeah.
if they were reaching right, it was actually going left,
Oh
and
my
they would
God.
just. That's why some of the kids would just be reaching the wrong
Flailing.
way.
Oh god.
It's like all freaking out at it.
Oh yeah, this for the listener. This was an old show that would at the final challenge would green screen these poor 12-year-old kids into like dodge the logs or whatever, and no one could do it. And
It's worth YouTubing. 'Cause
of
Yeah.
course you like touch the coin on the screen, and you're like, why can't this kid just touch the coin? It's right there, and they're trying to like just do
Oh my
weatherman
God,
it.
it's so
But
funny.
yeah, you guys have all pretty interesting day jobs. You mentioned working at a theater, Biff. I saw your video, and Chris, I was enthralled by your history of video games discussion.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that out there?
See, it seems like you're all being nominally functional in this wacky COVID world with the online learning, or at least safety in the theater. Is that working out at least to a degree?
The theater less so.
Theater less so. Okay. Do you want to plug
The
it?
but
Like,
but
go see
yeah,
a
I
movie,
mean, like,
everybody.
yeah, it's like it's widely suggested not to go to the movies right
Yeah.
now
All right.
due to things. So you know what I mean. But we were kind of in a situation where we were waiting until like the state reopened these things, and so unfortunately we were just like playing by the rules that they set up. So they're like, hey, let's go back, and now we're finding out all these movies are getting canceled. That
right.
was supposed to like
Okay.
Wonder Woman just got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You,
Candyman. Yeah.
So, it'll probably, they'll probably get smart and be like, this isn't a smart thing to happen.
Yeah.
So,
the Doom head is currently cranked up to nightmare. It's a little
Yes.
rough right now, but that's okay.
yes.
So Chris, are you an educator then, or was this like?
I'm an after-school teacher.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah. So I work with kids in my hometown of Arlington.
Okay.
And I love working with kids. They really need people who are like open-minded and into like cool forms of art to be around them, and it's a cool job. And once COVID happened, we kind of switched to like remote learning, where I kind of just did some like, they told us like do a half an hour video. It doesn't matter what it is. Show them how to cook. Just something for us to do. But I kind of took it upon myself to like, I'm going to do the green screen. I'm going to put myself like, I'm going to teach these kids some cool stuff because I know they're not really learning like in quarantine. I don't know how it all works. But like if I was a kid in quarantine, I'd be playing 007 all day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
would have beat Mega Man 2 5 times by now. But
yeah, so I was like, what would the kids, what would I want to see if I was 12? And my mom was like, here, watch this video. Like, how can I make it bearable for these kids? I'm like, here's Mr. Chris diving in the ocean with hammerheads. You want to know about hammerheads?
Yeah,
like,
I would watch that.
Weigh this much, and they eat this, and like so. And
Hell
I
yeah.
learned from it too, like, and I got some feedback from some of the kids that I knew that parents were like, thank you for
Really?
it.
Okay.
So I was very that's all I needed to really like.
So we decided to put it up on our TriHeart
So
music.
Biff is Biff's a media whore of sorts. No.
Yeah. No,
And,
that's fair.
that's what we're
I
here
accept
for.
you.
Let's plug that
Yeah,
URL.
he
That's
wanted to put out some content, and I worked on it. So it's like maybe some of my friends or some of their kids want to watch it. And actually, I have nieces and nephews, and like my brothers and sisters showed their kids the videos. And my nephew was like, I can't, I said in the I did a solar system video where I said, Saturn is the furthest planet from the Earth that's visible sometimes in the sky without a telescope. And he ran to his window and he's like, I can't see Saturn. He yelled at me on the Skype when I on FaceTime and I called him. But just I trying to find ways to be creative, and there are some kids out there that are probably bored in quarantine that need something to laugh at. So
Yeah.
it's fun all around.
Why not laugh at me?
Check that out at facebook.com/tryheartmusic. So if like let's say 3 to 5 of your musical influences were to form like a classic Dungeons and Dragons party, who might take what role?
So these would be our musical interests.
Yeah, or
And-
interests or influences or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And so, well, for me, one of my well, I guess you could say just like one of my recent influences of like since I've been doing chiptune is this artist Little Scale that I really enjoy. He's from Australia, but he did a lot of like cool work with like making like the Genesis MIDI capable, and he uses yeah, he does like a lot of really cool things. You should if you check him out, he's like always like trying to find new ways to like make sounds and like stay creative. So he's always like putting out albums for free and always putting out tutorials on how to do stuff. So I take a lot of influence from him. So I'd assume that they would either, I mean, the Gimme obviously is a bard, but
Okay.
we'll try to be a little bit more creative than that. And we'll say probably like a chemist of
Okay.
some kind.
Like the Alchemist. He's
yeah, let's say the Alchemist.
Sonic
Yeah.
Alchemist. Awesome.
Yeah, it's like creating something out of nothing.
There you go. Nice.
Absolutely. All right, there you go. That was easy. Now who's next?
All right, I'll try it. So something that's cool about the band, I think, is that we have like very different musical influences, even though Little Scale is amazing. But one of my influences that really got me into chiptune was this person named Wendy Carlos, and she wrote the music for The Shining, Orange. Why am I blanking? What's that scary movie with Orange?
Orange.
Someone help me.
When oranges attack?
With Malcolm McDowell.
Clockwork Orange.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, Wendy Carlos is amazing, and she was the first person to kind of work with the Moog back in the 70s, and she came out with this album called Switched on Bach, which was all like yeah, it was so good. But she is what's kind of like I view her as like the matron of chiptune. So what's like a matron like?
Oh, right. Like
some sort of
like a marshal or war commander. They'd like
yes. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she would be a war commander.
Yeah. Kind of in the back, you get to move pieces. But not that I've ever played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, no, that's I love that. That's Wendy Carlos is totally the marshal. That's or like this might not work, but there's you ever see that that like Thai kickboxing movie Ong Bak?
Yes,
yeah. So if she was a fighter, she would be Switched on Bak.
Oh my god!
Nailed it.
Hell yeah!
Making it work.
God.
And Mr. Chris, have you any influences you like to throw into this insanity party?
Man, I always like to. I mean, I guess I have to go with like a rap influence on this one,
You
right?
can do whatever you want. No rules in space.
No rules in space.
I guess I would have to be like. I always thought my kind of like long, elongated cadence, such kind of always reminded me of like the Diplomat, like the Joel Santana kind of Jim Jones, like ballin', high school, And I always loved Joel Santana out of the Diplomats.
Most, so. Cool.
I don't know, who would Santana be? He'd be
well, he'd most likely be. Well, he has a lot of jokes, so I'd say he could be like a jester.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say
Nice.
the jester.
There you go.
Jester.
Oh, that's a strong party. We got a jester alchemist war marshal.
Hell yeah.
That
is a good
party. That's the TRIHEART party is totally going to win the battle. We got the self-titled TRIHEART EP now. TRIHEART music.bandcamp.com. Did I screw it up? Okay.
Or
cool.
also tryheartmusic.com too.
TRIHEARTmusic.com. Cool.
You got it.
What is next for the mighty TRIHEART?
Well, we've got a single in the works right now with that we are doing with our good friend Matt Zappa. It's called Shadow Fighter. And he basically provided drums to our song.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Can the Shadow Fighter join that Dungeons and Dragons party?
Yeah.
There you go.
He's in a band called Matt the Band.
And Walter Sickert in the Army of Broken Toys. And a few other bands. He's just a
Phenomenal
wonderful guy.
musician.
Overall, a great person. So he liked the song a bunch and asked if he could like be on it. And
That's
we were like,
interesting, Danny. I
obviously.
Yeah.
stepped on your
Yeah.
point a bit. Did I hear he's doing like drums?
Drums, yeah.
Drums. Is that?
Metal drums.
Yeah.
Wow.
He played Magfest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Matt the Band, yeah.
Is that gonna be tough
so-
to incorporate for your already sort of hybrid sound? Like now you got to deal with physical drums. Is that like a
Yeah, so mostly what we were kind of like shooting for that was we kind of like tried to picture it as best we could as like kind of like a band. So it's like Biff is kind of working as like a lead guitar. I'm kind of doing like bass and rhythm on the Game Boy. So we have the real drums, and then Chris is our singer. So we try to like gear at least the chiptune aspect of it to more of those like things. So it's not really being all leady and trying to take the front of the stage. So it was mixing all that together.
We're kind of like our whole thing is like we are a friendship forged through chiptune. So for the next album, we really wanted to do like a very friendship based approach
Oh, awesome.
and like togetherness sort of deal. So we're gonna look at like collabing with a lot of people that are like near and dear to us. And like I had an idea of like what if we had a song that some like people our friends had known already. And if we were playing it live and a lot of our musician friends come to our show, they could actually join us and play
Right. Yeah.
with us.
Yes, thinking ahead of time. Nice, I love it.
And
So
it's all about friendship. So,
Yeah.
it's
You-
like
you
we
got
want to
that-
play with our friends. We want to hang with our friends. Yeah.
that microphone Mortal Kombat get over here move, but you're ending the battle with friendship. Like
Yeah.
So check out that Shadow Fighter single coming up. One more thing I want to plug. You guys have a podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do we get that podcast?
You can get the podcast everywhere. It's on
Cool.
Spotify, Apple Music, Libsyn.
You can go on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff. And just at TriHeart
YouTube.
Music, I think.
Right. It's also on our website, tryheartmusic.com.
That's like the hub to find it all, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
Forward
appreciate
momentum.
using all
And if you
media
sign up for our
platforms.
email list, there's a really good chance you'll get free pins, free merch.
Yes.
Biff likes to send free merch out.
True.
Show them Gothicals.
Ooh,
We
looking
got-
good, Gothicals.
Yeah, no, it looks really
Oh,
great.
Gothicals.
So
the
definitely join our email list. We have a Patreon.
Yeah.
It's very
awesome.
low price.
Okay.
We have exclusive Patreon content. Patrons usually get everything
Yeah.
that we do before it comes out.
Yeah, they get access to the podcast before we release it.
Yes.
We generally listen to their ideas on how our merch should look and
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
what direction we should take on anything.
True,
that we do
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the guests Biff tries to get, because it's mostly him having discussions
Oh.
with different people in the scene,
Mhm.
and usually it's about things that maybe some people don't want to have a discussion about, but there needs to be a discussion.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, that
So,
sounds awesome.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Biff's done a lot of really good work on his.
Oh, thanks.
On his end on the podcast.
Actually, do I have a minute to talk about this week's episode that's coming out?
Hell, go plug away.
So this week's episode is really interesting, and Danny brought it to me actually. It's something called there's a shop it's an adult shop in Boston called Good Vibrations, and it's
Okay.
actually in California too. So right now it's called Sexy SECSE Sex Educators Community something, but basically the people that work at Good Vibrations are going on strike.
Oh.
Because the Good Vibrations like reopened and they did not protect their workers. Everything is like not safe in terms of COVID and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, the SECSC has been on strike for like 2 weeks now, and you can see them outside the Brooklyn store and the Harvard Square store.
Okay.
And Danny threw me their contact, and I got to talk with this amazing person named Aria, who's basically leading the strike right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
and
gnarly.
and the featured musician will be Sam Mulligan for that one because he just came out with a new song.
wow.
So, yeah.
So
So
we-
we try and
I was just
You
going
go,
to say
sorry.
that's at tryheartmusic.com in an upcoming podcast episode.
Yeah, this week's
Get
podcast.
wow, that sounds pretty amazing. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm still discovering it a bit. My Boston discovery journey has been a bit stunted by COVID
True.
world, but I'm happy I ran into you at that Trixie show. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, we ran into each other at Trixie Mattel.
Oh, yes,
yes,
that's awesome.
It was so funny.
That was
Yeah, and we bumped into MC Lars, didn't we?
yeah.
true, true,
Well, I mean, I
Oh, yeah.
you were opening. I'm not gonna not say hi.
True. But that was really cool.
No,
Oh,
that was a good show. That was a cool venue too. I haven't been in the upstairs part of it, but
Yeah. How are you? Like, what's the difference between Chicago and Boston? The experience for you.
I mean, the first thing that I noticed was that the train cars are about 20% bigger in Boston. So I'm just like, I am a king. I have so much space. But yeah, like same stuff,
Same thing.
cool people, you know,
Space is space.
spaces.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing
Sanitation.
crazy, you know, wild, super different, but you know, Boston parties hard. Like, I mean, I'm not even trying to like get, you know, a cheap applause or whatever, but like it struck me like every night of the week, I'm like, it's Monday, there's a night, there's Tuesday, there's a night, I can go out,
Wow.
like Jesus. But yeah, it's pretty great. No, I love it here, and what better place to host a band I also love? This is TriHeart. We're sort of on a rogue flight path out here in space, and I'm going to bring this flying couch back into the station. You want to check out tryheartmusic.com for all that stuff. Podcast, new EP, forthcoming single. Check out the Boston 8-bit scene and the jungle when the planet opens up. I mean, I'm out here in, you know, the outer reaches of the
Luxury.
cosmos, but
Yes.
you on
Yes.
Terra Firma, excuse me, should check out the jungle when that opens back up. Let's see. Check out new additions to LSDJ. Look for that amazing Final Fantasy VII TriHeart video game when that takes over the world. And anything else you want to throw out into the universe before we close on this amazing episode of Space Couch?
Yeah, I just think there's like a lot of the artists that kind of like helped us out with doing this. So, you know, check out Sam Mulligan.
Yes.
Check out Brick Breaker.
Yes.
The person that did the visuals, Glex.
Glex.
Glex, yes.
Yeah.
I always do everything phonetically. Who else? God, you take
Oh,
some.
Magfest?
Wreck the System.
Wreck
the
the
System. Yes, that's a big
Matt
one.
Zappa.
Matt
Matt
Zappa.
Zappa. You can see a
Geek
lot of
Beat
this.
Radio.
Geek Beat Radio.
The Electric Dugans. We've always played with
Electric
those.
Dudes,
Yeah.
Fantastic Plastics.
Yeah.
Megaman,
Who you know, I know.
MC
Yeah.
Lars,
Yeah.
Gossicles.
Check
Oh,
out the whole
check out
nerd scene.
Carbia.
Draco and the Malfoys.
Draco and the
Malfoys.
Malfoys. Gosh, there's a lot when we start listening in.
Yeah,
Oh my
all
gosh.
these, all just wonderful bands that have just given us, you know,
Minus
Yeah.
World.
the time of day. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing. Like, your friendship game is strong. We're coming up on 100 episodes of Space Couch, and nobody's spent their final thoughts just plugging other bands. I love it. I love it. So,
Friendship is our brand.
Hell yeah.
well, I made it sound all corporate and plastic. Like, we're not friendly enough. We got to move some units. No, you guys, it's the real deal. This is Brian for Space Couch, for Danny, for Chris, for Biff, for TriHeart. Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Devanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. Space Couch. Ow.
Bye, Space. Dude, you're amazing. This is the most. Oh, really?
What do you need? What video games do you want there?
Oh my God.
I've never had the option to play if there's no Rad Racer in the building, I'm leaving. Like it was.
I'm not playing.
Instead of green
Dude.
M&Ms, it's like it's gotta be.
I know, for real.
Dude, they have
Contra and
Psycho.
Oh my god.
Low G Man or something.
Yeah.
But not Low G Man because like that. But
Oh my god.
Right, you guys, this was a great episode. You know how it works. It's up on the YouTube or all that.
Cool.
I will stay in touch. Catch you guys later.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
there
man.
is there an MP4 we might have access to
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
can
Actually, I'll
do best?
podcast it, and
Okay.
I can send you that MP4 shortly.
You're the best.
Back
Thanks.
at you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much, dude, for having us.
Playa. Hey. Of course, I went back to the couch and did the biggest comedy spill of my career. It's okay. We have chemical for that.
I have the carpet remover here in my hand.
There you go. You're one step ahead. I'm just gonna put a tarp on. Like honestly, I think that would not be a bad idea. I like this brand of.
I noticed how we tend to use them, and when I saw on the shelf, I'm like, well, thank you.
Yeah, that was MC Lars Daryl Hell level of like, how have we not been like friends for 20 years? Sort of thing.
I like the setup. Like once you figured out how to do multiple collars, it's.
They actually did that themselves.
Oh wow.
That was like.
Well, the fourth one being like their.
Yeah, and now I get it because I was a little bit nervous because I had to establish the call half an hour beforehand, and 3 minutes for that one. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
I can see that they were, doing the thing.
I feel like chiptunes guys are probably on the ball when it comes to tech.
Yeah, they really
what
were.
was that about programming it on a Game Boy?
That's how they do.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. It's not like you can have, all these other windows up and floating panels. You just got to keep 9 menus in your head because you can only look at so much at a time.
Wow.
But as you know, that is my one thing for the day.
Yeah.
So
I know you had Trixie mentioned, but there is another them watching a thing on Netflix.
Oh, that's my favorite. That would be a nice post-couch treat. Yeah, because I ran into Biff at Trixie.
Yeah.
That came up. I didn't know that they're all about friendship, and then which is always nice, but that they
in a very Saturday morning cartoon kind of way. That seems to be kind of their vibe in general.
it is their vibe is the word because it's not commodified. They really lived it. I asked, do you have any closing thoughts for the purposes of, a lot of people will do check out xgrinderface.com for the latest whatever.
Yeah.
And they just we want to give a shout out to all our friends and just listen to a bunch of bands, and it was just no one's ever done in coming up on 100 episodes of Space Couch.
I'm just I just want to send out a hug.
Right.
They're very fist bump freeze frame at the end. Those guys.
I learned a lot that time.
Also, the seminar I was in posted the class photo screenshot everyone took, and my Zoom window was next to the hosts.
Oh, you look hot.
Oh. But they were I was on it.
That's pretty fucking cool.
But it's just weird. It was such a big crowd. I was, you just imagine it being a room and you would get lost.
How many people did you see? 40?
60? I guess because I piped up
awesome.
a couple times. so I guess Zoom organizes windows by who's pages or something. I
But
sent that to Jared and Ethel was like gasped. But Peppermint was hilarious because obviously you saw like it was blinding light, but it also had like a Christian Carver fan on her the whole time. With like a gentle breeze on the beautiful lawn.
I know exactly what you're talking
The entire time just tits just like highlighted, glowing, and just glamorous. And we just
It works in that context.
it really does. That like they posted that and tagged it and everything. It was like, oh my god! I'm like,
Cool. Like little. I mean, it sounded like you got a lot out of it.
anyway. It's really easy to articulate where I said that picture really.
And then just to have that. Damn, you got a lot of pen for your buck on that one.
And it was basically like it wasn't cheap, but it was like a really good, like almost group therapy session. And I was like, fuck yeah. I mean, if that was the way we're judging it, then.
Yes. David Trubinsky. You get to sort of.
Your Skype call Rolodex is just a.
Now it's like, do you want to talk to fucking Straftons or XP8?
Still mortified that Ron being anonymous. Hopefully he wasn't like at his desk or looking at it or anything. But I was looking under the couch while the stream was live.
Yeah, right. Being anonymous.
And I got up and I was like, fuck.
And I'm now remembering that one guy that went on for way too fucking long covered Punk Rock Girl at the Jungle. We were there that one time.
Huh.
Family man, a rising professional, a little hot-tempered and a little foul-mouthed, but in general, just a guy you'd just like to have a beer with and hang out with.
But as police dig deeper, the more troubling the image of Barton Corbin becomes.
His name is Barton Corbin.
Looking at the records at the Georgia Dentistry Board, he had a number of complaints. If something didn't go perfectly, he would get frustrated. Then he would hurt people.
Ah!
One woman, she was in a chair for 4 hours. He kept drilling away and cussing out his assistants and swearing at her. We had a lot of customers that left because he would lose his temper.
While detectives focus on Dr. Corbin, Dr. Terry tries to establish Jennifer's time of death.
Goodness gracious, that's like some horror movie shit.
God, like, Little Shop of Horrors did it as a joke, but in practice, like, if someone was, like, over you and...
Yeah, dentistry is the weird intimacy of you're fully awake and someone's in your mouth.
And yet it's generally, like, barely a step above, like, chiropractor for most people.
Mm-hmm. It's such a fallback
but
thing.
If it's fucked up, it gets so unbelievably fucked up. Like, well, same for chiropractic, I guess, but it's like there's very tangible results, I feel, for dentistry. But YouTube, Trixie, and Katya, you look like you might be a little bit of a closet goth, man. I see you. Bitch, I know. What?
I've never seen you talk to a YouTube logo like that.
There we go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, they're so mainstream. They're interviewing with Good Housekeeping.
Get out.
Can you, like, that's like your mom's magazine.
That's my mom. Literally, like, I grew up with, like, you could build forts out of the amount of just stacked Good Housekeeping. Oh my gosh. That is some X-Universe shit.
Huh.
Heartening, you know.
Yeah.
Whoa, did you float? I feel like you're saying floating, but you're trying to trick me into doing this. Yeah, can you... Hi, it's me, Trixie Mattel.
And I'm Katya.
And we are two queens who like to watch.
And today we're watching a brand new Netflix original series starring Hilary Swank, Away.
Away. I love Hilary Swank.
Too good for Hollywood, that's what she is.
Absolutely.
Would you go into outer space, Mom?
Oh my god. You know, I've never thought about it, and it should go to people who think about it a lot.
Okay, space fans.
Sandra Bullock even got to do it.
George Clooney.
Bruce Willis.
Brad Pitt. Ben Affleck. I recently saw Ben Affleck's penis.
Wow. Spoilers ahead. If you've never seen our show before, we're going to talk intimate details and show clips, so please be careful.
Why don't we, as a society, try to figure out the problems on the ground before we go traipsing off into the galaxy? Just a thought. Maybe it's simplistic, but...
Girl, the human race is like, well, now that we've f***ed this rock up completely, what you got going over there good?
Yeah,
What you got going on?
What you got there good on Planet Red?
This would be about Hilary Swank sitting in a room doing nothing, and I would watch it. So I'm already sold.
Swank stains her deck over the summer.
Tickets, got the tickets.
Roll of tape.
Isn't this fancy? Who did this?
I have a question. If you've trained to be an astronaut, do you say I'm an astronaut, or is it like, girl, until you left the planet, you're not an astronaut?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's like, are you a YouTube queen, or are you a queen who's hitting the beat and doing the numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Until you've literally been pissed on at a gay club in a wig, you're not a drag queen.
You're not a drag.
Not to me.
Is there really a 50-50 chance you'll die?
Actually, it's 90-10.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to your mom, sweetie.
Girl.
Making promises you can't keep. Making promises you can't
How?
keep.
You ain't gonna be there.
There is always a chance.
Your mom was gonna die up there, Manny.
I love Hilary Swank. She's iconic. But even if she wasn't, she could just be a supermodel.
Oh, phone in the bed. That's bad.
Really?
Yes, no phone in the bed.
Of everything you've done in your life, I love that phone in the bed is where you draw the line.
I got you a present.
It's an everlasting gobstopper.
It's a necklace that says R.I.P. Mommy.
Oh my god.
You are awful.
It said my mommy died in space, and that's cool.
And the string is me making my way back to you.
Dying on the operating table is one thing. Dying in space, just picturing your mom's crystallized body floating through space, like...
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother journey.
Not the piano. What can't he do, huh?
Would you...
Absolutely. Longtime lover of Josh Charles.
She's gonna continue to hear things from other people.
Can you tweet from space? Is that stupid?
Actually, yeah.
Well, satellites, bouncing.
They do video calls, right?
There's some kind of communication.
And then you could video call, tell someone, hey, update my Twitter status.
Absolutely.
You knew at the first moment I saw you in that T-38, you were fangs out all the way.
God, he is beautiful.
He's great.
Hot people stay hot.
Not true.
Ugly people get uglier, and hot people stay hot.
Not true. Not true.
It was my birthday this week. I was like 31. People are like, how do you feel about getting older? I'm like, I've looked 50 for a very long time. So 31 is nothing to me. I'm getting the AARP card, sis. Question. If they were like saying, hey, to save resources, we're going to send 50% of the planet to
Jupiter.
Would you go?
No, I'd stay.
I wouldn't go.
I'd chain myself to a bridge.
And let's be honest, the people going to space are often white.
White and billionaire-ish.
And we've seen what white people do when they show up somewhere they've never been.
They tear it up and act a fool.
They go, all right, I'm going to kill everyone and start over. The people on the red planet are over there playing badminton or whatever. Then the astronauts are going to show up and go, no.
Ooh, see, you're alive and we don't...
I'm going to have to nip that in the butt.
Mom, they said he had a stroke. Mom, you're not still going, are you?
Girl, f*** that kid.
Who's that kid? I don't know her.
Mom, I need you here.
Oh.
I want to be there. I want to be there more than anything. But I can't be right now.
She's now facing the possibility of both parents being gone.
But then, freedom.
Woo! Woo! House party. WAP starts playing.
I almost said the exact same thing.
Going out to space, but this wet and gushy.
Mom, they're taking Dad now.
To the cemetery.
So here, Hillary has decided to stay and not go to space.
Honey, is something wrong? Dad, what is it?
You're kneeling on my leg.
He can only whisper, so this is Dad, not me.
Go to space.
He says, come home, bye.
He said he needs you to do your job.
Children come and go, but outer space.
I don't care if your whole family was murdered. You get on that rocket ship.
It's not your decision.
There are some things where, like, you have to just go along with it, and you can't just let everything stop everything.
Nobody's getting any better by just sitting around a hospital bed.
Hello? So this is the tea. This is further into another episode. We have a Chinese astronaut who is out with a girl named May, and she has a thing for her. So lesbian stuff. Oh, is this an English learning exercise? Karaoke? That's fierce.
That's how I learned Russian.
Which is why you can only talk about things like breakups.
Super dramatic, yeah.
You cheated on me. I'm going to the club.
Yeah.
So we're gonna learn English. This is called Boys Don't Cry.
What's your ultimate karaoke song?
I don't like karaoke.
Never done it a day in my life, never will.
I hate it. I hate it.
There's two things I hate. I hate listening to people who can't sing, and I hate listening to people who can sing at karaoke.
I would rather listen to someone be fucking boot nasty awful than someone who's like, you guys, I don't even know the words.
Yeah.
This isn't your moment, Mary. We get it. It's honestly only one step up from white guy with a guitar. And that's coming from a white guy with a guitar.
Oh, you guys want me to play a song? If I was hosting a party and you showed up with a guitar, I would slam the door in your face.
I know. Are they blind?
Misha, I need you to help me with something.
She learned English.
I was wondering if my channel could be re-engineered so it's private.
Why do you need that? I need to Postmate some weed.
There's someone.
I know exactly who you wish to speak to privately.
How?
I found the softball.
I saw the Home Depot credit line.
I saw Melissa Etheridge, yes I am, CD. Can lesbians fly?
It was you, wasn't it?
Sorry? That's how I have a fight with people. Did you tell on me?
Okay, tell me what the hell's going on.
Jack let it slip that Lou and May had an intimate relationship.
Y'all up to talk.
Not to mention, Mama, this is close quarters. They're all in the same room trying to take a shit. The shit's floating across the room, you know, what.
Keep it to yourself, Mary.
You will never receive an unwanted look or word from the crew again.
Because I murdered them all. Okay, so we've got a flashback going on where May puts the moves on Lou.
She does want it. She's so conflicted.
One of the most horrible things you could probably experience as a gay person in the closet is the whole the rebuff, the recoil.
Reject it, yes. Or the straight boy thing.
Turn the light off, you can jerk me off.
No, they do the hookup thing, and then afterward, they literally avoid you forever.
Oh, yeah, or once they come, they grab a butcher knife and they chase you down the street with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Girl, f your country.
You are a lesbian. That is your country.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, look, the dad's doing a little better.
I'm so happy to be home.
Okay.
You know how few people have two parents? Be thankful. I have two parents and they're both educated and employed. I don't want to generalize. It's always the kids who have great families who want to act out and act cool. Thank you. My whole life was in such shambles. I was like, we're not drinking. We're doing homework. Thank you. Because this, not the tea. I was 15, like, is anybody gonna do these dishes? Did you ever sneak out?
Absolutely. We used to sneak out, steal my mom's car, and go on death rides.
Wait, I did know about the death rides. You know, I never snuck out once.
Oh, we did it all the time.
I never skipped school once. Wait, I skipped the school once to watch Under the Tuscan Sun. That's right.
Diane Lane stand forever.
By the way, it's a great strategy. If your teachers are all 40-plus women and they say, why'd you skip school? I went to see Under the Tuscan Sun. You know what? I forgive you.
Oh,
you know.
Great film. It's fine. Don't worry about it, honey. Yeah.
So how long have you guys been friends?
Would you drive a truck? I see you in a red truck.
Ooh, I would love to drive a truck, of course. You know, my whole fantasy dream is to have this, like, Hollywood lifestyle, my little condo, pink, everything.
Yeah.
And then my B side of my life is kicker, truck driving. Yes, that's my vibe.
Yeah.
The bike's yours?
Yeah.
Your parents, they cool with that?
If a life on wheels is dangerous, I guess we have a different conversation to talk about.
She knew I needed an outlet. I guess she figured riding is a pretty good one.
You porking my daughter?
Well, my dad, Humvee, he was traveling in hidden IED.
I didn't even know cars could have IEDs.
Cars can get pregnant.
So in this clip, we have Emma, Hillary Swank, listening to a message from her husband.
Hey.
Hey, Trixie. I know you're in outer space right now, but I just wanted to say on behalf of me and your boyfriend, we hope you're feeling fierce and floating away. Float back soon. Love and kisses, Amanda.
Remember how much we used to love lying in bed listening to the rain? Close your eyes.
I could never be an actor because look at me. Ready? You'd be like, close your eyes. Look at my eyes.
I can't even tell if they're open.
The toilet's leaking on the second floor.
Oh my God.
What?
What is it? Emma's daughter's had an accident.
I saw it on Twitter.
Lex has been in a motorbike accident. Emma will want to know.
No, this isn't. No, sorry. Next. They should have never called and even given us information.
No, we have no information, but we know something bad has happened. You don't even acknowledge that one bit.
You mustn't tell her.
Lou is the only person who knows the tea.
Trust me, Emma deserves to know.
To know what?
What'd you say?
You can never need to know anything that may impact this mission.
No, she doesn't.
Alexis was in a motorbike accident.
Oh.
I shouldn't go.
Pull it together, Karate Kid. Boys don't cry, Mama. Come on. Come on.
I should be home.
Oh, she's flipping out. Wigging out. She's got space brain.
Straight people, but you gossips.
You're her second commander. You need to come in.
I just need to think.
I love dramatic exits while floating, though. Yeah, love it.
Classic quarantine in space scenario. Everybody goes bananas. It's called space brain.
We've been in quarantine for 6 months, and I've had some dark thoughts, so I can't imagine.
Yeah.
What would you bring to keep your vibe?
Bitch, I would never go. 3 years in outer space to do what? Look at some red rock?
I mean, I'd definitely bring books. I would pick some shit that I would always want to read, but would never, actually take the time to do it. Bring the Constitution, bring the Bible.
These taste like soap.
That might be fake, sis. Some of these are fake. Are you eating a fake one? Okay, so they're finally doing a spacewalk. They got the umbilical cord and all that. By the way, did you know with babies, the umbilical cord is not a food tube? It's just blood. It's like a vein. They all look like little MTV awards.
It's the best episode yet.
Imagine your whole life trying to be an astronaut. You're f***ing floating in space. Probably not as cool as winning Drag Race, but still pretty good. I don't care how smart I would be. I would just feel so scared that I would just get snipped off and fly away.
And then what?
Well, you're gonna piss and shit yourself before you die. Then you're gonna be floating around in your own shit.
No.
Yes, starving, covered in shit.
You run out of oxygen, you just kind of...
It looks so real, wow.
What are they doing, filling it up with gas?
What is that?
Poop?
That's her stash. Is this a foam party? That's what my body looks like without padding on, no corset. Also, do people be f***ing while floating?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, to f***ing space, girl. Okay, they have finally landed on Mars. Let's see what the aliens look like. Everybody see the aliens, say yeah. Jesus Christ. At least if you crash, it's gonna be, you're not living.
Touchdown confirmed.
Women in space, we love it.
We love to see it.
You are on Mars, bitch.
A little dry.
She looks up and the clouds just spell out Asian.
Well,
wow, Away was great. This show has everything. Dirt bikes, secret lesbianism,
karaoke,
wheelchairs,
gossip,
lies,
floating,
big floating energy,
floating deception.
It's, of course, science and all that, but it's also the psychology, the experience of being away from everything.
No matter how far away you travel, the real journey involves coming back to here.
Within.
Yeah.
Getting back to me.
Welcome home.
If you'd like to watch Away, you can check it out on Netflix. Also, Hillary Swank, DM me, Judge.
That was really funny.
The idea that it would have a troubled history is interesting, right? It's just a post-mortem on Spielberg's daddy issues.
Does he have them?
Well, think of every Spielberg movie dad.
Well, then yes, they're all. So like ET.
Close Encounters
Close
is the big one. Jaws.
was thinking of E.T. and Jaws, and they're not very father.
There's that. The vibe I get is there's a deep conflict between like the dad's dreams and career and being a dad. And Spielberg's gone on record and said that he would not do the same ending for Close Encounters that he went with.
Okay, well, how's it end? Dad leave with
Dad
him?
leaves with the aliens.
Okay.
And when he was younger, he totally rationalized his dad abandoning him. Like, oh, he's just busy and he's got wonderful, great things to do. And then as Spielberg got older, he made like Hook, where it was like, actually, fuck that.
But that was a Spielberg. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to think of movies he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Minority Report was him. That involves the father-son relationship. Was kind of at the center of that.
Yeah.
But that's about a dad that with the son is gone. The dad's trying to find his son's killer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's usually a dad-son thing in pretty much any of them.
Interesting.
I'm curious. Like, there's so overtly like
Empire of the Sun is about something like a 9-year-old Christian Bale is trying to reunite with his family.
Jurassic Park. Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sam Neill doesn't want to be a dad, but then he
Right.
has to reconcile with his kids. Maybe that's the one with like the least.
Schindler's List?
No, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Schindler's List.
Well, if he did he do the third one? Because that's Sean Connery at his
Well,
best.
he did all of them, but I'm saying Raiders
Raiders,
specifically.
that's not there.
Yeah, but it obviously segued into it with. He eventually shoved it in there. Private Ryan. Family, but not dadness.
Not dadness.
Yeah. Interesting. Catch Me If You Can has maybe a vibe with that. War of the Worlds, yeah. AI, holy shit. I didn't remember the color purple was him. Wow. God, some of these newer ones I totally didn't realize.
Yeah, right.
Baby Goldie Hawn, yeah. Oh wait, he's doing the new West Side Story? What?
Poltergeist for sure.
Oh yeah. Back to the Future is kind of a father-son dynamic, but not. Oh wait, never mind. Oh shit, never mind.
Well, it's a mother-son dynamic, really.
Well, but he's got like a son coaching his dad to fuck his mom, basically.
That's interesting. There's the weird "My Dad Died" scene in Gremlins.
Yeah.
He did trans.
I think he produced it or something. That might be messing with this list. But... American Tail? Yeah.
Kidding?
Yeah.
What's that big song in
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out. Yeah. Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
On record as the worst. It fights E.T. for the worst game of all time.
Oh god, I remember I was watching a playthrough of it. It is garbage.
It's hard to find. It was like released as like a not a cereal box, but not far off. It's this promotional thing, and it's physically difficult to play because the physical CD is so poorly produced that it like comes apart. Just according to the one YouTube thing I saw.
Yeah, there's the guy that actually did that really awesome video on the editing of Suicide Squad did a playthrough of it.
Maybe that's what I saw.
Yeah.
It seems like the kind of thing I would have clicked on after the.
Yeah. But it's like a super monkey ball thing. With,
something like that.
And then he's like in a sewer on a roller skate.
Right.
The worst flying level ever in all time.
Yeah. those countdown worst games videos are great because there's a lot I've never heard of. But like, there was some skateboarding game where you essentially download the entire game under the guise of a patch because they didn't finish it in time.
That was relatively common. Actually.
Was it really?
Super
wild.
sneaky. That was one of the first cases where people were like opposing the selling of the disc of a game. Because a lot of the digital downloads now, but I remember that was super controversial. The idea that it could be like taken away from you or changed without you, as opposed to being like the immutable like disc that it's done.
I'm going to get my post-couch treat. Can I get you anything at the stop?
I would not be opposed to some seltzer, but otherwise I'm all set. I went yesterday with a big booze.
Do you have what?
CDC study says 50% of adults who tested positive dined out 2 weeks beforehand.
Speaking of consumables, do you have a brand or flavor of seltzer?
Well, usually I just get whatever's like either the polar or the.
Do you like those bigger 2-liter bottles?
I can, but I understand it's heavy, so smaller ones fine too. Whatever you feel like. That's true. I forget that you're.
I got a tie. Oops, I forgot I don't have laces on my shoes. BRB.
LOL.
Oh, wait, last time I remember. Oh, shit. I think I'm still alive.
Oh, no!